Welcome to Gate City Insider. I'm Rosemary Plybon. March Madness is the menu for Greensboro this month. We're serving up a big helping of basketball alongside good portions of music, theater, comedy, and for dessert, a little inspiration. How about it? There is really no better place to be in March. This is Tournament Town. So we're going to talk sports first. And we've got Rob Goodman, who's Executive Director of the Greensboro Sports Foundation. Hello. Welcome.
Thank you so much for having us.
First, Tournament Town, this is a real thing. It's not just something we kind of say here.
It is. You know, it's been, a couple of decades or so that Greensboro has been known as Tournament Town, but it is trademarked and all the legalities that are required. It is our deal. We are Tournament Town. We are a college basketball tradition, and we're proud of it.
And you're going to see it everywhere this month.
Unless you're in a cave or under a rock or something, you're going to see it this month.
And that's how it's supposed to be because there's so much going on. Let's start with women's ACC basketball.
So the women's tournament, this will be the 20th time the Greensboro Coliseum has hosted, a record more than any other facility, and it is jam-packed at the top this year. We've had some great women's tournaments over the years, but this year Louisville's at the top, NC State is right behind them, Duke, and then Florida State are the top four teams. And the tournaments have been so amazing, but what we see most often is anytime the North Carolina teams, for obvious reasons, are playing on the weekend, our crowds are the best and there's the most interest. And so right now with Duke and NC State's been nationally ranked all year with Elisa Canane, who played at Northern Guilford High School. So when hopefully Duke and NC State are able to make it to the weekend, but hey, if it's Carolina and Wake, we'd be happy with that too. Literally, we're happy with anybody that makes it, but for our crowd's sake, we love it when the North Carolina teams advance.
And it's really affordable for the family too to go to
this
tournament.
You see the billboards all over. It's $7. You can get it for as little as $7. You can't get Division I sports much cheaper than that. But the ACC's done an excellent job of creating an atmosphere that is just fantastic. And Thursday and Friday for the 11 a.m. games, Guilford County schools are there with some 5,000 kids each morning game, and it is so loud in there. They don't care who wins. They just like to see it, and they scream and yell. And I mean, it's literally extremely loud in the arena.
They might not even know who wins at the end.
They may not. They don't care. They're out of school and they're watching basketball.
And of course, that's March 4th through the 8th. Then right on its heels, the men's tournament comes to Greensboro, and this is just anybody's tournament, really.
It is. I mean, and you know, I said the 20th time the women's tournament has been here. It's just the 27th time that the men's tournament has been here, again, more than any other venue. The days of us having this tournament every year are clearly gone. We're in a four-city rotation now with Brooklyn, Washington, and Charlotte, and we, of course, hope to stay in that rotation forever. But this is first time since 2015, and you're starting to see our branding all over the city, and with the women's tournament, the men's tournament. I know we're going to get to NCAA in just a second, but Richard Beard likes to call it the Tournament Town trifecta,
right?
And because 3 straight tournaments, 3 weeks, and nobody else has. It happened once before, and that was in Greensboro in 2006. So we're the only venue, as far as we know, that has hosted 3 tournaments on back-to-back weekends like that.
Because we know how to do it.
Because we do, and we are Tournament Town for a reason. And if you may be a Duke fan, you may be not a Duke fan, but Mike Krzyzewski is the winningest coach in college basketball, and he has been quoted multiple times about how Greensboro does it better than anybody else, and Greensboro makes it like a Final Four experience, and that has never been more accurate than it's going to be this year.
Okay, so let's get to the NCAA, and then we're going to talk about even some more of the fun. So the NCAAs, as you said, are going to be here too. Basketball, first round.
Yeah, if you're a basketball junkie, man, this is just this. If you're a college basketball junkie, this is your month, and it's going to be amazing. And we don't know obviously what teams will be here until the Sunday night before, which is the Sunday night after the ACC men's tournament finishes. But with the NCAA's kind of pod system, they tend to put the teams. Many local teams are somewhat local as they can, just to cut down on travel expenses. So you would think that whichever team does best in the ACC men's tournament might have a shot at being here. Would Duke have a shot at being here? If NC State makes the tournament, might they be here? Could Virginia be here if their run continues? And looking outside the ACC, maybe a familiar team in Maryland is here. They've had an excellent season in the Big Ten, so maybe the Terrapins make a return to Greensboro, which would be great. It would be very interesting. What kind of a reception reception would they get. But those Maryland fans genuinely loved coming here for men's and women's tournaments. So that would be neat if they end up being here, but we won't know until the 15th of March.
Something to watch, of course.
Absolutely.
Okay, so there's so much going on. Even if you're not going into the basketball game, I mean, you should still go to the Coliseum during the basketball tournaments.
Absolutely.
Fan Fest, ACC Hall of Champions, tailgating.
Yeah, I mean, what else do you need, really? And there's a basketball tournament too. So we'll start with the ACC Hall of Champions. Been there for more than a decade. It's kind of the ACC's Hall of Fame,
really
if you
cool.
will, and it's undergone a significant renovation in the last few months. And so a brand new trivia game where you can represent one of the schools in the league, all kinds of pictures, and we now have, with the debut of the ACC network this year, we had this thing called You Call the Play, where you could pick a highlight and put your own voice on it and do play-by-play. We took that out and made it the ACC Network Theater. So we have a huge screen on the wall, and it always has the ACC Network on it. All new pictures and everything there. During the tournaments, we're going to have the tailgate zone. So I mentioned that the other cities that are in the men's tournament rotation, those are NBA cities with NBA arenas. We are a college city, and we are college basketball focused, and it's going to be a college basketball experience here during March. So we're going to have a big tailgate zone outside Piedmont Hall with a huge television monitor outside so you can watch the games, whether it's here or other tournaments going on around the country. Inside Piedmont Hall will be live music, food and beverage for purchase, food trucks outside. It's really just going to be a huge party throughout the tournament weeks. It's going to be a lot of fun. And I mentioned, the college experience. Tailgating is a big part of that. We're the only ACC tournament venue with a parking lot. So in addition to that, we have an area for RVs, and the Coliseum provides complimentary water and power hookups. There's basketball goals out there, so pickup games can happen. It should just be, if we catch great weather, it should just be a ton of fun.
It is a ton of fun. And if you like sports, maybe basketball isn't your thing. I mean, the sport's going to keep going through March at the Greensboro Coliseum.
Well, and the Greensboro Aquatic Center, I believe, does 56 swimming events. The Greensboro Aquatic Center, 56 events in 52 weeks, something like that.
Something like
that.
But
it's been a crazy run this year as well. The Old Dominion Athletic Conference Swimming Championships, the ACC Women's Swimming and Diving Championships, the ACC Men's Swimming Championships, and then the same weekend as the NCAA Men's Basketball Tournament is here, we have the NCAA Division III Swimming and Diving National Championships. So you're going to have two NCAA National Championships being contested on the same campus on the same weekend.
Has that ever been done before? I think we need to find that out.
We should find out. We need to research that.
There's no way.
I bet Matt Brown can find out. He would probably know that.
And so, in your opinion, I mean, you've said so many reasons why Greensboro is attractive to sports organizers, but if you could just pick one thing or one sentence to describe that, what would that be?
It might be our hospitality, and it might be our volunteers. That's a couple of sentences, but it's actually one. But so our volunteers are known. We're hospitable. We're friendly. We're welcoming. Other cities, when they do events, hire companies to run the events and do what volunteers do. In Greensboro and in Tournament Town, our volunteers volunteer their time.
And love it.
And they love it. And they're passionate, and they want to be at these events. And so we have about 1,000 in our Greensboro Sports Foundation database and the Greensboro Sports Council. But then, we reach out into the business community, and we can partner with the Wyndham Championship and get into their volunteer list if we need to. So we've got thousands of people to whom we have access and say, hey, we have these events going on. Come volunteer, come be a part of Tournament Town, and they do in amazing numbers and with amazing regularity.
Yes, and with that hospitality that it rubs off on everyone who visits.
It does, no question.
All right, Rob's going to stay with us because we have a whole lot more to talk about. Meantime, I should tell you can find out about all these sporting events going on by going to GreensboroColiseum.com. And of course, we are Tournament Town, which means fun for those who don't even like sports. You don't have to be a sports person to enjoy it. So Rob's going to stay with us. He's going to talk about a couple of fun things happening away from the basketball that are happening downtown. And we're going to find out about some cool music coming to Greensboro as well. So stay with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Gate City Insider. You've no doubt heard Greensboro called Tournament Town. We are Tournament Town, and hopefully you have seen the many banners and wraps. I mean, it's everywhere in Greensboro. You just can't miss it right now, and we have certainly earned that designation. And not just because we have the space to host the events, as you heard Rob say a minute ago. Hospitality. We're all about hospitality here, and that extends well beyond the sports arena. So let's talk about some of the fun going on. Rob is back with us one more time, and also Amy Grossmann, who is president and CEO of the North Carolina Folk Festival. Hello, welcome to you. Thanks so much for coming. All right, so I want you to tell us, Rob, about some Tournament Town things going on in downtown Greensboro.
So we're going to be busy. So there's some at the Coliseum and some downtown. So we start during the women's tournament. We have a free concert from the Indigo Girls Saturday night of tournament week in Piedmont Hall, and then move on to the to the men's tournament. Starting on Wednesday, we'll have. We talked about the tailgate zone.
Right.
And then Thursday, we're having the downtown watch party at the TANGER Center, where the marquee is actually going to be a big television monitor, and we're going to close the streets and have free food and beverages for purchase. And we're hoping the entire community will come out, if you're not at the games, and watch the games in downtown Greensboro. Then on Friday,
give folks the day off.
Yeah, take the day off. Absolutely. Then on Friday, because the ACC men's tournament has the semifinals Friday night and the championship is Saturday night. So Friday during the day, we're going to have a free concert in the White Oak Amphitheater Coliseum complex. So Casey and the Sunshine Band.
Super
I'm sure
fun.
you've seen that out in the media already.
Yes.
And then Saturday, we're back downtown with the Tournament Town Downtown Festival, where we'll have 3 bands in Hamburger Square, and the city will also be doing a celebration of St. Patrick's Day that day. So it is going to be fun downtown, and that wraps up at about the time you want to go over to the Coliseum complex for Fan Fest, and then into the semifinals starting at 7.
Woo!
That's a lot.
I mean, can you even breathe?
Absolutely.
Are you so excited?
Well, I can't wait for it. I've been working on this for so long, and
I
then you
know.
get into the NCAA week the next, and we're going to talk Folk Festival, and Amy's going to talk a little bit about that. But then that's Saturday. Our games are
Right.
Friday, Sunday. So Saturday we have a mini Folk Festival downtown.
I know. So tell us about that, because I mean, this is a nice little preview. I mean, it's the folk festival still a ways away, but we don't have to wait.
Yeah, it's a really exciting opportunity for us not only to showcase the folk festival in a smaller way on that weekend, but also a way to show that, in addition to being tournament town, Greensboro is also a very creative town with a lot of cultural offerings. So we're going to have a one-day festival in LeBauer Park from about 12 till 5 p.m. We're going to focus on some North Carolina performers, have some food, some crafts, some family activities, and we're inviting everyone to come out on that day off between tournament days to come down and enjoy a great day in the park.
And so, can you give us a hint of some things that are going to be there, like
Yeah.
some of the artists?
Yeah, absolutely. So again, we're focusing on North Carolina performers. The main festival in September, we have performers from all over the country, all over the world. We really decided to focus on North Carolina for this event. So we're going to kick off the performances with Big Bang Boom. It's a very family fun group based in Greensboro.
Yes.
And then we're going to transition to the Burnett Sisters. They're from Boone, and they play bluegrass, gospel music, beautiful harmonies, 3-part harmonies. And then Charlie Lowry and Friends. Charlie is a wonderful singer-songwriter who's from Robeson County. She is Lumbee and from the Tuscarora tribe, and she's just a wonderful singer, has kind of a bluesy R&B sound to her. And then capping it off is going to be Reese Palmer, who's an absolutely wonderful singer from Durham. She touches R&B, soul, but really found her place in country music. She's wonderful.
And then some little mini performances between the bands, right?
Yeah, so in the time that it takes for us to change the set on the stage, we'll have some what we're kind of calling pop-up performances on the street. Some local organizations are going to host some demos, interactive activities for people to stay engaged even while we're changing the set on stage.
And when again is this?
So this is on Saturday, March 21st. The performances will actually kick off at exactly 11:45 and they'll run till 5.
Perfect. I mean, so there really is just kind of a little bit for everything. So how was Greensboro? Oh, well, first, before we get to that, let me hear about let's talk a little preview. Give us a little preview about the North Carolina Folk Festival coming up in September.
So, the Folk Festival in September, we're gearing up for our 6th year in Greensboro. There's a lot happening behind the scenes that I'm not able to reveal just yet. But, you know, I think in the next few weeks, people will see a lot of announcements announcing a lot of the performers who are going to be there. We're also going to be shifting a couple things around on the site, so that's going to be pretty exciting, I think, for the downtown businesses. And as Rob said, you know, pretty soon we're going to be tapping into that incredible volunteer corps that's here in Greensboro that supports not only sporting events, but cultural events as well. You know, we couldn't make our event happen without the help of the 1,000+ volunteers who volunteer their time with us.
So really kind of keep paying attention, because it's sort of this
Oh,
is
it's
we're
gonna
just getting
kick into
started
high
with
gear.
rolling out the good
Yes,
stuff coming in
it
Greensboro,
is,
that's for
it
sure.
is.
And so I'm going to ask you the favorite thing about spring in Greensboro. You want to go, Amy?
I love how green Greensboro gets. I know that sounds trite, but it's a beautiful place, and I'm very excited about what the spring is going to come for this entire community. Also, with the addition of the Performing Arts Center coming online.
That's pretty exciting, yeah.
That would be for this spring. It would be the TANGER Center for the Performing Arts coming on. But I think every year is kind of related to what you said, as green is spring and the Masters, and that means it's time to start playing golf, and that means
baseball season.
and baseball season, and the Grasshoppers and the Wyndham Championship, and
Yeah, we
and
have to
just
talk
all
about
the
Wyndham, because that's
well,
coming up
I
too.
might have to throw
Yeah.
that in there, but that just is it. Just all spring is the beginning of all of that, all the outdoor time and all the fun.
It is so much. It is the place to be. March is just kind of where we're getting rolling in Greensboro. Thanks so much for both of you for being here today. So many more things are happening in Greensboro this month. I think the reenactment of the Battle of Guilford Courthouse, that's always a great thing. Greensboro Green Day in LeBauer Park, performance by the U.S. Navy Band. That's just to name a few of the free, fun things happening in Greensboro during March. And of course, that's just kind of getting us started for all the more fun things to come over the summer and into the fall. So make sure you keep your calendar handy and start making some appointments. Well, we are not even close to done, though, with March Madness. Even with all of that in Greensboro, as you just heard them mention, the TANGER Center is opening this month in downtown Greensboro. How can you get tickets to see some of the nation's hottest acts? You want to stay right here. Welcome back to Gate City Insider. This month, the TANGER Center opens in downtown Greensboro. Of course, this is the culmination of years of dreaming, designing, fundraising, and building. Jennie Lanning is the Director of Broadway Marketing for the TANGER Center. Welcome.
Hi, thanks for having us.
Okay, there is so much buzz about the opening, and we just learned about the opening show.
Josh Groban, no big
Wow.
deal. I mean, yeah, I remember that coming through my inbox, and I was pretty excited. I said, doesn't he play arenas? Wait, we're getting him in an intimate theater setting?
He's so
I
cool.
mean, yeah, he's pretty internationally renowned, and so,
There
yeah,
it
we're
is.
really
Yes,
excited.
March 20th, so that's going to be the official opening
Yes.
of the Stephen TANGER Center.
Our big
Performing
grand
Arts.
opening celebration.
So
yes,
exciting.
indeed.
And of course, no slowing down. We've got comedy, inspiration, music. Touch on those if
I
you
mean,
would.
yeah, just after Josh Groban, we're going to have a guy by the name of Jay Leno, acclaimed
yeah.
late night host and
Uh-huh.
comedian.
I've heard of him.
Yeah, maybe. And then, of course, we have the Brian series will be in, and they've got great speakers coming. Sally Field. We have
Wow.
Colson Whitehead coming. Then we have, of course, the Symphony is going to do lots of events. We're partners with the Greensboro Opera. And then, yeah, we've got Patti LaBelle coming in. Obviously an icon.
Yes.
And then, yeah, we've got Ronnie Millsap coming in. Fun fact, he was my first concert ever.
Really?
I wasn't even 2 yet, but that's what my mom tells me. So I'm going to be there singing
You're a
Smoky
groupie.
Mountain Rain.
I
Yeah,
can tell.
completely. Complete fangirl.
Everyone, of course, is talking about the Broadway series, and that is coming up really fast.
Yeah, I mean, we are so blessed to have got, I mean, it's the entire triad has kind of supported this season seat program that we've had for our inaugural Broadway season. So just, I mean, over 16,000 subscribers now, which
that's
is
a
just
record, right?
some kind of record. That's what they tell me.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and I think people all over the country are really impressed with Greensboro and the Triad at large. But I mean, it is a phenomenal season, as I was telling you earlier. I mean,
Opens with Beautiful.
Opens with Beautiful, the Carole King musical. I think many people are familiar with Carole King and her music, but
they probably, even if they're not familiar with her name, they are familiar with her
going
music.
to know
You're gonna
the music.
songs.
Yeah, I mean, she and her husband at the time, Jerry Goffin, wrote things from, Will You Still Love Me Tomorrow? And then they had their best friends back in the 60s and 70s are also in the show. Barry Mann and Cynthia Weil, and they wrote on Broadway. And just, I mean, it is hit after hit after hit. And then it gets into Carole King when she recorded Tapestry, her really well-known album, and so you hear her sing Natural Woman and, all these sorts of things.
I mean, I kind of get chills just thinking about it.
Oh my God, it's so good. I waited in 8-degree weather for lottery tickets the first time I saw Beautiful in New York,
wow.
so yeah, I'm excited.
And of course, it keeps rolling from there. I mean, we have so many great shows. Really, this is kind of an unheard of, fabulous season.
It just feels like we have so many blockbusters for, the first season. As I was telling you, my absolute favorite show this season has Come From Away. The music is incredible. I mean, we were talking about the Folk Fest earlier, and you just hear it's got this kind of Celtic, Irish, but like a little bit of a rock vibe, and it's just about being kind to one another. It's about a Canadian town, Gander, that took in, were essentially American refugees after 9/11 when U.S. airspace was closed.
Right.
And then we go, of course, to Wicked. I mean, Broadway's biggest blockbuster, and it lives up to the hype, as does The Lion King. I mean, absolute chills during, pretty much the entire show. And then we go into Dear Evan Hansen. Again, a tearjerker, but Pasek and Paul wrote the music for that show, and it won, I think, something like 7 Tony Awards, including Best Musical a couple of years ago. But Pasek and Paul, you might be familiar with them. They wrote City of Stars from La La Land. They wrote the music for Greatest Showman. And yeah, it's definitely a show that speaks to today. And then we end the season with Mean Girls in May of 21, and of course based on the Tina Fey hit movie.
Right.
But it's got your musical elements, big dance numbers, fabulous, songs.
Funny. Fun.
Hilarious. And it has all of my favorite lines from the movie, which is important.
Yes. And are there still tickets available? Can you still get season 6?
You can still get season tickets. Yeah, I would tell best availability is really on Wednesday and Sunday evenings. So check there when you're on tangercenter.com and looking to buy season tickets.
And individual tickets?
Individual tickets for Beautiful are currently on sale as our groups. And then we also have groups of 15 plus for Wicked on sale, which
cool.
is exciting. And then, yeah, we'll kind of be going on a rolling schedule with shows in chronological order. So Come From Away will probably go up in the spring sometime, and then we'll go with Wicked and so forth.
And then, of course, there's some other Broadway shows that are not part of the series that are coming.
I hear you're excited about Rent.
I am, yes, in January of 21.
Yes, we're really excited to get to announce that show. I've seen that show quite a few times, and of course, grew up with the movie, and yeah, just really excited. We're part of the Farewell Tour. It was the 25th anniversary of the show recently, and so this is the Farewell Season of Love Tour. So we're excited to be a part of it.
So there might be some others sprinkled in. You just
there might be. We'll just have to see what keeps popping up and I mean, you were saying, what are you excited for? And I'm like, I feel excited every day for what is popping in and what is getting booked. It's like, wait, we get to announce that? Okay, great, know? And so it's really fun to be a part of and be excited about.
Yeah, and as we said, record-breaking season ticket sales for an inaugural Broadway season, which is really cool. Why do you think, I mean, just having been here for a little while, this is happening? Why is Greensboro making this happen?
I think it's kind of surprised everyone. Certainly our partners up north in New York City, they can't believe it. And they're like, man, Greensboro and the Piedmont Triad region is really something. I think we've had great theater here, in Greensboro and in the Triad. And so coming in and being able to bring these blockbuster hits in, and big Broadway shows haven't really been in Greensboro for a few years now since War Memorial was here, and certainly being on the caliber of the Wickeds and the Lion Kings and that sort of thing is
It's going to be a different experience.
A different experience, and I think people are just hungry and excited for it.
And you want to give us any hints of things we should look out for?
I know. I should. I know. I am just.
You want to know too?
I want to know too. I'm like, new things are popping into my inbox every day. So, but definitely maybe some more concerts coming up. Maybe another Broadway-ish thing coming up. So we'll.
That's
You'll
a good
have
teaser.
to stay tuned.
That's a good teaser. I like it. How's the best way to stay up to date?
Yeah, so you can always make sure you go to tangercenter.com. Make sure you don't just Google Tanger Center, because you want to make sure you're going to tangercenter.com and Ticketmaster to get, your real verified tickets.
Right.
And you can also we're on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Tanger Center. And you can also sign up to become an insider and get pre-sale. And make sure you get all of our up-to-date information by becoming an insider at tangercenter.com.
Awesome. Jennie,
Yes.
thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. You can, as she said, tangercenter.com is the website, a full lineup of all the fun happening there. And I'm going to put all these links that we've been talking about on my Facebook page as well, so you can find them there anytime for easy reference. It is March Madness. It is happening in Greensboro. There is no need to leave town, not even for a second. You don't want to miss all this fun. Thanks so much for joining us for this edition of Gate City Insider, and we will see you next time.